welcome to March 2, the pod presented by Eternal Roofing. We are season 3, episode 3. Triples. It's all triples today. Did we get an unintentional sneak peek at the men's basketball schedule? We're gonna talk about that and some others. And like Ben said, I'm wearing a new hat today. It's called the Original. I'm your host, producer, formerly band member of catfans.com, Corey Hogue. Find me on your favorite social media channel at Corey Hogue Sports. It's all one word, CORYHOGUE Sports. The knowledge of this show is provided by the creator and manager of Sports of SHSU on Twitter and Instagram. Again, that's all one word. He's the chief operating officer of Cat Fund, proud Bearcat alum, Ben Sorrells. Ben, baseball's a crazy game, dude.
Sure is.
I'm watching the Mets Padres. They're playing right now. We're recording. It's a Wednesday, July 30th, 4 o'clock. And they just had a dude go through giving bro hugs on his way to go to San Francisco because he just got traded.
We're on hug watch.
It's insane, man.
Yeah. A lot of movement in the next 24 hours. A lot of player movement at Sam Houston, too, which we'll talk about today.
There's been some of that, but it made me thinking, like, what if? What if, and I found this on Reddit, this is just completely unrelated to anything with us either anyway. This one was a guy said he had a job as a senior software engineer, and his job was eliminated. And then a few weeks later, they offered him to come back on a contract.
Okay.
What in the world?
What are we doing?
What are you doing?
I thought there was going to be even more to it, but yeah, that is
no,
weird.
Like that's it. Like, how can you eliminate someone and think you're going to bring them back on a contract?
I don't know. It's kind of like when speaking of baseball in this, when a guy gets released and then he gets put on waivers, nobody picks him up, then he just goes to their AAA team. They just bring him right back. But you're on the AAA team. You're not on the Major League team anymore.
Yeah, so if they want to bring you up, they have to make another 40-man move. And, boy, you feel all kinds of love when that stuff happens.
Yeah. We want you, just not on the Major League team.
That's right. Hey, Eternal Roofing, this is the last days to vote, today and tomorrow. That's it. So let's get over here. In fact, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it just one at a time here. So this way we all go through it together. Okay, best of BSB.com. Do you see that?
I don't know if you have it up.
Well, I don't have it up because there it is, or it should be.
Getting there.
Go. There it is.
Loading. There we go.
Is that it? Is it the wrong one?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. So bestofbsb.com. And it brings you to this page where you can scroll down, go to nominee categories, put in who you want, Eternal Roofing and General Contracting, of course. You can see I've already voted. Their best roofing service, best home improvement. Go give them your vote. They are the best anywhere in the Texas Hill Country, Houston, San Antonio, the entire state of Texas. They are by far the best, but definitely the best in Bull Verde. Just saying.
100%.
Yeah. This is it, though, man.
Cast your vote.
Yeah, it's the last 2 days. Get out there and vote. Let's get them an award here. How about that? That would be a really nice way to start off our August here, announcing an award.
Two awards, possibly, right? It's two categories.
Two awards. Hey, Taylor and his group, they deserve that, no doubt. So, this producer is having a day right now, ain't he? But anyway, also visit eternalroofingtx.com or call 936-215-8539 if you're in Montgomery County, 830-251-5673 for the Hill Country office, or email Taylor at eternalroofingtx.com. This is really going a little strange right now. Like, I'm feeling a little bit off right now, Ben.
We'll work through it.
I'm not really sure why, but I know that we have a special team, and that's being brought to it. This is the end. We've had a preview series going. We previewed the offense, the defense over the last few weeks. Now, Ben's going to tell us about special teams. And listen, this is the one area that you don't think about until you do, and then it's too late.
Yeah, and we saw that last year a little bit.
Oh, we saw that. Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Into the position previews, and then I think we'll do maybe some game by game predictions, and then it will almost be a game week. So,
it's coming up on it. We're a couple of weeks away from giving our worst case, best case scenario, and what our season predictions are. Could best case be a bowl game?
I think so.
Well, at least you think so. We'll see what I think in a couple weeks, right? But yeah, we have all of that coming up. But first, Ben, tell us about what to expect from the special teams this year.
Yeah, it's a group like many other groups on this team that is going to look very different than it did last year. And starting at the punting position, you had Jaden Cardell, who was a 3-year starter for you. I think he took a big step forward last year. He entered the portal after the spring. I don't believe he's found a home, but you're going to have a new punter, and everything points to it being Curtis Durand or Durand. He's from Australia. I mean, who knows how to pronounce that 100% correctly, but a guy that's played a lot of Australian rules football. This isn't the first time that Sam Houston has had an Australian punter, most recently with Matt McRobert, who was with the team for a few years and with them during the national championship. So
he was profiled by somebody too over at Dave Campbell's back then.
Yeah, I wonder who that was.
Mm-hmm. He also has a kicking school too.
Yeah, and I think he's at Conroe High School now also.
Well, and he came through Pro Kick Australia, which I don't know why we're getting all off into this, but go ahead.
Yeah, so new punter. Looks like it's going to be Curtis. It looks like it's his first time playing American football. I mean, that's somewhat of a concern, but you've seen so many guys make the transition that it's not too big of a deal. So that's the punting position. Kicker is the position a lot of people want to know about. Probably Christian Pavon is still on the roster, but all signs point to him not being the starter. And you've got 4 kickers on the roster, which is interesting. That's a lot of roster spots for a kicker. And so,
how many of those would be scholarship?
1, maybe 2.
If you're putting more than one scholarship in a kicker, you got either problems or a whole lot of great deals on the ones throughout the rest of the roster.
Yeah, so likely 1. And so Pavon, he's back. Doesn't appear he's going to be the guy, especially since you added 3 kickers in the spring after he was the kicker during the only kicker during spring. You added 3 more after spring, so it's not going to be him. He can punt a little bit too if needed, and I actually think he might be a better punter than kicker when I saw him at practice in years past. So that's something to watch if you get into a bind at punter. Maybe he steps in, but I think RJ Lopez is probably the guy that's going to take over for you. Has kicked previously at UCLA and Purdue, has experience actually as their starting kicker and as a kickoff man. So I think he's likely the guy that takes the kicking duties. You also brought in Nico, this is another fun name, Otto Manelli, I believe is how you say it. He's a transfer from Nebraska, redshirt freshman. Didn't play as a true freshman at Nebraska, but is depth for the future, depth for this year. Last name at kicker is Tate Ryan, who was the 19th ranked kicker in the country coming out of high school last year from the Woodlands. And a fun fact about him, he was not the starting kicker at his high school. The Woodlands had 2 of the top 20 kickers in the country, and the other kicker was ranked number 1 by 24/7 Sports and is going to Arkansas. So not a ton of game experience, but all the kicking camps, he's really impressed. Local kids. So RJ Lopez is probably your guy this year. He's a grad transfer. And then moving forward, you've got Tate Ryan from the Woodlands, like I mentioned. And then Nico Ottamanelli coming over from Nebraska. He's got multiple years left as well. So you're in a pretty good spot, I think, at the special teams position, kicking and punting-wise. Punting is a little bit of a concern, but we'll see how it shakes out. long snappers, obviously another important position. Carson Whittington, him and Zach Stryker went in and out as the snappers the last 2 years, so he's got some pretty good experience. You also brought in Jake Fitzgerald from Merrimack College. He was their starting snapper last year, so I think you've got to feel pretty good about the snapping position as well. You've got a guy who's done it at this level, maybe not in a full-time role, and then you bring in another guy who's done it in a full-time role at a lower level. So I don't think this group is really going to be like, one of the top groups of the G5, but I don't think there's any reason why they can't be better than they were last year as a whole and just be good enough to get the job done, which is kind of what you need.
Okay, so the thing that bothered us most as Cat fans last year were kickoffs.
And the field goal kicking, yes.
Anything field goal kicking, yeah, but kickoffs was another
yes.
was another real problem last year. Is that going to be solved, you think?
It definitely looks like it. And I think you saw it as a priority with this staff, adding 3 kickers in the spring. I think they saw it last year with Pavon, probably saw it again in the spring. So you're bringing in 3 guys to compete for the job. Like I said, it's probably RJ Lopez, but you've got 2 younger guys with a pretty good track record behind them. So if somebody's not producing, there will be somebody else that will. You've got options, and somebody's going to be able to put the ball through the uprights and kick the ball off straight.
Well, that's good news. Colton Foster was talking to some Sam Houston people today. So why don't we go ahead and listen to what Coach Longo had to say about the quarterback room?
Character production, on the back end. And at the end of the day, we're truly, this life is simple. Mac Brown used to say all the time, football is simple, people are complicated. And I've never heard a truer phrase. And I think that we can make this thing a lot more difficult than it is. And it's not. And we try to keep the game simple so we can get these guys to that instinctive point sooner. And so in the quarterback room or in any room, it really comes down to production. We need them to be good character guys off the field, be good teammates, be good citizens. And then on the field, production doesn't lie. What they put on film is who they are from a football standpoint. And so the guys that are the most productive and are taking care of their business off the field are the guys that are really going to be the cream that rises to the top, and those are the guys that lead us into the season. And then, during the course of the year, it's our job to try to get as many of the guys in competition into that category. I'd much rather play 9 offensive linemen than 5. I'd much rather play 3 running backs than 1. We'd like to play 3 to 4 tight ends a game. We'd like to play 8 D linemen.
Okay, are we on?
Yeah, we're back.
Hey, we're back. I have no idea what happened. All of a sudden, StreamYard just stopped working.
It's all right. We were almost at the end of the video.
So anyway, you have one more point there on special teams, and then let's talk about what we're hearing from that. We won't listen any more to the audio. Obviously, that is slowing down the StreamYard today on my end. So, but there's a couple of things I do want to talk about with some of the videos that Colton pulled today. But go ahead and finish this up on the special teams.
Yeah, with special teams, I think the kicking is going to be much improved, which people are going to like a lot. But one concern I do have is your kick coverage and punt coverage guys. Last year was a lot of your kick and punt coverage guys are like your 3rd string wide receivers, 2nd, 3rd string DBs, linebackers, and you were deep everywhere, especially on the defensive side when it came to just pure athletes. CJ Johnson, for example, was your special teams ace, caused a fumble and recovered a fumble in the bowl game. Did a lot of that last year. And so I don't think you have the same kind of athletes or talent at the 2 and 3 compared to what you did last year. So I do have somewhat of a concern about kick and punt coverage, just because those guys that you have that are your 2s and 3s on offense and defense probably aren't as talented as they were last year, especially on the defensive side. So that is one thing I'm interested to watch, and I think could be an area of concern.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's not an area of concern, we're not talking about the 2025 Bearcats, right? That's just kind of how you have to look at this, right? What Bill Longo said. First off, any coach, when talking about a breakdown at a position, decides to talk about off the field, it's usually because, in my experience, on the field isn't going to be so good. But I posed this question to you earlier today. Do they know who the quarterback is and they're just trying to not put it out because of personalities and egos and stuff? Or is this truly still a quarterback battle?
Yeah, I think it's still a battle. I wrote during the spring that it appeared there was an edge towards Hunter Watson after the spring. Definitely still a battle. Nobody really won out. Still gave like a 60-40 edge to Hunter Watson, but this was going to be a battle going in to fall camp. And so I truly believe it's a battle. Is it necessarily 50-50? I'm not 100% sure, but I do think there is some validity to it that there is a quarterback battle, and we'll see when they decide, but I don't think anybody has won out just yet.
So, offensive coordinator, Zach Patterson, right?
Yep.
He spoke also. Did you gain anything from what he said other than the fact that usually it's coach speak, but this is a real battle? Like the more I keep hearing it, the more I think that I just have to keep asking myself, is it actually a battle?
Yeah, I think it is. And I think the coach speak kind of does actually apply here. So that is one thing to note. I think another thing, and this was from Phil Longo's talk, this was at the very end, like the last 10 seconds, I think we might have missed. He said he is open to playing two quarterbacks. And we saw a little bit of that during his first tenure here, like with the quarterback. If the quarterback's a run threat, he's going to use them. Like if Hunter Watson's not the guy, I think there could still be some gadget packages for him. So even if Mabry is the guy, I wouldn't be shocked to see Hunter get snaps in there just to give them a different look. How successful will that be? I'm not too sure, but I thought it was interesting that Longo said he's open to playing two guys in some sort of capacity. And I heard a couple weeks before camp started that even if Hunter's not the guy, he's going to be involved in this offense just with how dynamic his skill set is. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I garnered from the interviews is that, and it's something I had heard a couple weeks ago, and it just kind of reinforces that idea.
Saw today that a Tommy Mellott, pretty good dual threat quarterback, is a backup wide receiver on an NFL depth chart.
Yeah, Hunter's a little different than
something.
I don't think that would be the case to where he's going to move positions if he wasn't the guy. But he's going to be involved in the offense some sort of way. And he doesn't really strike me as the Tommy Mellott top-end speed guy. It's a guy that's got enough speed. He's just shifty enough. He's got great size. So, I don't know. I think he sticks at the quarterback position for this year.
Okay, so I want to play this if we can. I'm going to try to play this sound. It's from Michael Phoenix, too. Colton Foster got that as well earlier today. So we're going to try to play this one here, what he said. And then I got some things that's going to be interesting to talk about here. Let me pull it up first. Here we go.
Me personally, transition. That's the earliest. Like I've been none but cheesing from ear to ear. I can't wait to just get out there and really just just throw the ball. Really, I'm not sure. A lot of people kind of seen what we did as far as the offense last year. As a receiver, that's not something that you actually really want to play in, but it's here now. And just Coach Longo, he's a phenomenal dude, man, phenomenal coach. He's well known in the coaching world, outside the coaching world. He's known for what he did with his air raid offense. We're just as an entire offensive unit. I mean, we break it out on don't blink, because if you blink, you might miss something explosive, miss something that make you get out your chair.
That was Michael Phoenix II earlier today to Colton Foster. What's your take on that, Ben?
Yeah, I've got a couple. I think the biggest thing is him talking about the offense from last year, saying that it's something wide receivers don't necessarily want to be a part of. And Simeon Evans actually said that in an interview with the UNT beat writer, that the offense really wasn't made for wide receivers last year. Which
Let's get into this. How so? Like, how is that not a wide receiver friendly offense?
last year, I think you knew how good your defense was. You wanted to control the clock so much that you were going to run the ball a lot, especially earlier in the year when you saw how good of a runner Hunter was. They really didn't throw the ball much until those last 2 to 3 games against Liberty and Georgia Southern. So I just think there weren't as many opportunities before, but that's what led you to success and what you needed. You didn't need that high profile octane offense where you're going to throw it 45 times a game last year, to where this year I think you're still going to run the ball, but there's definitely going to be more pass catching opportunities for guys like Michael Phoenix.
What if I told you that he's right? That he himself, Michael Phoenix, is not the type of receiver that fit well into last year's offense.
Oh yeah,
big, tall, size. Those are different receivers. You have to use them differently. Keeler was a master at getting some of the Ife Adeyes open, right? Michael Phoenix, those type of guys didn't always do great in a Keeler system, which is fine. That's how his system is. It's no surprise he likes this new system, because it is a little more, I know, again, he hates the term, it's a little more air raid, so it's a bit more receiver friendly. It utilizes the skill of the tall outside receivers more, which is what he is.
Yeah, and Quavez Humphreys too. Those two guys are big names to watch. And then you have your slot guys like your Malik Phillips and Avion Smith-Mack, like smaller, more quick guys. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a ton more opportunities for guys like Quavez Humphreys and Michael Phoenix this year, and I'm sure they both are very excited about what this offense could hold for them.
I found it interesting, and hey, it's a good thing, right? You want them excited about the offense they're going into.
Yep.
No doubt. Is there anything else on the football side we need to talk about? La Tech still in Conference USA right now, kind of. Hey, did you see? Yeah, let's talk. I want to talk about this too. Did you see earlier today? And I know Cat fans kind of put this out too. They quote tweeted it. It was well, I'll find it if I had it up. I didn't, of course. But it was a Conference USA poll. They had Sam Houston second, 7-1, I believe it was overall, but they were. It was like 7-5, 7-1 in conference, and like 7-5, right? Like, it made no sense.
Yeah, if you go 0-4 in non-conference, you're probably not going 7-1. Your team probably isn't quality enough to do that. Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting prediction. I think the only other note for football is we probably saw that teaser video from, or most people probably saw the teaser video that the athletics team put out about 48 hours ago. Some people think that's naming rights related. It's not. Some people think it's jersey related for the team. It's not that either. So you'll see what it is Friday. I might have some notes on it Thursday night, but it's not naming rights for football stadium related or New Jersey related from what I've been told. I haven't even told you what it is yet.
No, I have no idea what it is yet. Jesus Christ, let me blow this image up so we can actually see that Conference USA prediction. There we go. They've got Liberty at the top at 10-2, 8-0 in conference. Sam Houston winning nothing but conference games. Jacksonville State, Missouri State, Western Kentucky. That one surprises me. The Western Kentucky at 5-3 in conference. I think they're going to be a little better than that. FIU, Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, UTEP.
Who is Sam Houston's one loss? Is it Jack State or Western Kentucky in this scenario? I mean, I'm just interested to hear.
Kentucky.
Them or Jack State has to be one of the two.
So, when I look at this conference right now, there are definitely years of difference. This season, got the top, which has Liberty. It has a Western Kentucky. Would you throw a Jack State into there?
I think if Jack State can show, I mean, similar to Sam Houston, if Jack State can show another year of what they did the year before, I think you throw him in there. I think you would have put him in there if they kept Rich Rod, just because he showed he did it back to back years. But there's obviously a lot of questions, like there are at Sam Houston, about what the team looks like under a new coaching staff.
There's a second tier, and these are teams that could go up or down. Really, they're the unknowns, and one of those is a Sam Houston. Jack State, like you said, they could be thrown in there too. Missouri State, FIU, Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State, UTEP, La Tech. Let me throw La Tech in that too. Right? I don't think La Tech's going to be 2-6 in conference. I think they're better than that, but we don't really know what La Tech is going to be.
Good defense. Yeah, still some questions on the offensive side. I think Evan Bullock is their guy. He showed some promise towards the end of the year, but I would definitely lean towards Louisiana Tech being better. Won 5 games last year, returned a lot. They've got their quarterback position seems to be figured out, so I think they'll be higher. And I think Missouri State, maybe not this year, will be there. There's a lot of question marks, obviously, moving up, but talking to the coaching staff last year, they were very impressed by Ryan Beard and what he's putting together at Missouri State. So give them another year or two. I think they could kind of be in that middle group.
They'll struggle with depth.
Oh, for the year at least, yeah.
The first year, you're going to struggle with depth. And then the bottom, I think, is no doubt. You've got Delaware and Kennesaw at the bottom. I think that's going to be pretty obvious as the season goes on right now.
I would put New Mexico State probably down there too.
You think they deserve to be in that bottom tier as well?
Everything outside of the kill years has been rough, and I think it will continue that way.
Things do tend to get rough in Las Cruces sometimes, don't they?
Yep.
Hey, let's take a break right here. Let's hear from our friends over at Eternal Roofing again. But before we do, I want you to know you can help us grow this podcast. And first off, thank you. I was looking at just some numbers today. Our YouTube has gone way up. You're watching on Twitter, Facebook. Thank you so much. You're listening, downloading. You're finding the new podcast. Remember, we're on the Podbean app now. So you can find us at March 2. That's the number 2, thepod.podbean.com. Follow us there. Rate us on any platform you find us on, wherever it is. Rate, download, share. We're also part of the Conference USA Podcast Roundtable, which features podcasts from all 12 Conference USA schools. You can find that on the various platforms. We are all over the place. I gave a list last week. We really have expanded to multiple platforms. Find us on Twitter, Facebook as well. March to the pod. March the number 2, the pod. Let's hear a word from our friends over at Eternal Roofing. Eternal Roofing and General Contracting is your choice for integrity work in the Texas Hill Country. Taylor Andrus and crew provide experienced quality roofing services with a mission of roofing with faith, serving with integrity, and sheltering homes in the spirit of stewardship. Don't just take our word for it. Here's what satisfied customer Pamela Allen had to say about Eternal Roofing. They did a great job on our patio roof, came out quick for a quote. The quote was very reasonable, and they started and finished work well and quickly. Not a bad thing to say about Eternal Roofing. Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539, or you can email them taylor@eternalroofingtx.com. Don't forget, go to bestofbsb.com, vote for Eternal Roofing. They're in 2 categories. Let's get them the awards that they deserve. We got questions. Baseball last year, right? Like, okay, if I was to sit here and go and say, Ben, I'm going to say the 3 biggest sports at Sam Houston that has the most following are in this order: football, men's basketball, then baseball. But that's close. Would I be off
you could
on that?
The past 2 years, I would say that's correct. I would say prior to the past 2 years, baseball's probably number 2. But as it currently stands, men's basketball probably has a slight leg up. But it's definitely those 3 in some order.
Well, baseball's my number 1. Okay? And I'm not happy about last year. I don't know if many that could be happy about last season. that roster is pretty well set now, and we know there's a lot of turnover. I don't have a graphic for this. I wish I did. That's on me. But Ben, who do we have? What's this roster looking like right now?
Yeah, so you have 17 players coming in at the moment, 7 hitters, 10 pitchers. You lost 16 players from last year. I think you're, by my count, you're 2 over the roster count, but you're bound to make some cuts in the summer and early fall. So with the new roster numbers, not too worried about that. But 17 coming in, 16 going out, 15 via the portal, 1 with graduation. So I think the team has done a good job this offseason. I think you've retained some key pieces that you needed to retain. Most notably, probably Parker Blackman, Caleb Cotton, Ryan Frandon, Jace Martinez, Ryan Peterson, Ty Marthel-Johnny. The 7-8 guys-ish that performed at a pretty high level this last year, you were able to retain. Lost Hunter Autry to graduation, but he's really the biggest name that you lost to the portal or graduation. So I like what they did. I think they boosted some things that they were already good at on the speed side. I think they're going to have the fastest outfield in college baseball, and it's not even really a question about it. On the offensive side, you needed some pop desperately. You really had no power last year outside of 2 guys in Hunter Autry and Brady Christensen. You've added a couple guys with pop this offseason. Nathan Fink, who comes over from Florida Southwestern JUCO, had a big year there, hit over 300, 10 homers, started his career at Mississippi State, is playing in the Cape Cod League right now. So he's a guy to watch for. You've got also Hunter Alvord coming up from the community college rank. I think he had 19 homers there. So some guys with some pop. And then you just needed a ton of arms. The offense flashed at times last year. You had to completely revamp the rotation. I think they've done that. I think they've found 1 or 2 kind of top-end starters, guys that I think you could throw into the rotation and feel pretty good about. Added a bullpen guy yesterday to round out the roster, and Peyton Huff from Southern, who looks really good. And then a ton of high school guys, a couple who look intriguing, like Cooper Harris, whose fastball's up in the mid to upper 90s. So I think you filled your needs. Obviously, you needed a lot. Is it going to be enough? We'll see. But I think this roster on paper looks a lot better than it did last year.
Dude, it begins and ends with pitching. And the pitching was atrocious outside of just about 2 or 3 guys last year.
And I said it coming into the year, it was the big question. And a lot of the guys they picked up last year, it's a JUCO guy with a 7 ERA that's topping out 88 to 90. This year, the guys and just their builds and their numbers are a lot different. Like, for example, from Grayson College, Cade Noonan-Schwander, fastball up to 93, 94, had a 2.3 ERA last year in 66 innings with 73 Ks. Guys like that, I think, are a lot more promising and have a lot more potential than anybody you brought in last year.
2 things. 2 things. Throw strikes, miss bats. That's all I'm asking.
That's another thing, too. All these guys have impressive strikeout numbers.
My walk numbers. I know strikeouts are nice, but dude, I look at those walk numbers.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the walk numbers as much, but like Tyler Ryden, a guy from Alvin Community College, I think his K per 9 is like 11. Peyton Huff, you brought in from Southern yesterday, his K per 9 is up over 9 as a reliever. So yeah, you got to control the walks, but you also got to strike guys out, prevent them from getting on base. I think there's a lot more promise with this group. And you return Ryan Peterson, who was your top guy last year. Yeah, Tate Hittman and Noah Kendrick also started to come on at the end. They were some younger guys. So I think you've got some pieces. Do you have enough pieces? We'll see. I think you've probably got 5 guys I feel good about right now, but you need probably 10 to 12. So we'll see if any of these freshmen can develop, or a couple of other pitchers you kept around will develop. But a lot more potential for this year. Still a lot of question marks, but you got to feel at least a little bit better than last year's roster.
Is it safe to say that Jay Sirianni feels the heat?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I think we've seen evidence of that from assistant coaching hires and changes. And I think you're talking about the roster and the different types of players they're going to get right now this year. I think we're seeing that he's understanding this is a critical year for his tenure.
Oh, it is his tenure. I mean, and I mean, it really comes down to.
Is it? We said last year, before the season started, it's a season that could go really south.
Yeah, and it did.
And he survived. What are you looking at to see that he should have another year coming into this season?
It's got to be a top 3 or 4 finish, or a finish in the top 5, and you're making it to the conference title game. It's got to be something along those lines.
Top 3 or 4 finish. Wow.
In the number 5 or 6 league in the country. I mean, after last year, I think you've got to prove, and they were, I think, 4th 2 years ago, so it's not like you can't do it. I think it's got to be top 3 or 4, or maybe you're 5th and you make a run to the conference title game and push for a bid. That's my thinking behind it.
Is this a roster that can do that, though?
I think if it lives up to its potential, it absolutely can. I think there's elements to it that are exciting. Like if Ryan Peterson can be a little more consistent, he'd have games where it's 7 innings, 2 runs, and then another game where it's 3 innings, 5 runs kind of thing. And it's kind of back and forth, needs to be a little more consistent there. I think if the JUCO guys with some power actually bring that power and can hit 10 to 15 homers, that's a big thing. And then I think the most fascinating part is this outfield and what it projects to be. Caleb Cotton, I think he had 20 stolen bases 2 years ago. He's got 31 in 33 games in summer ball right now. Just a burner. Parker Blackman had 22 steals as a true freshman last year. Another burner. Jarrett Curtis, who you brought in from Mizzou, had a 330 on base percentage 2 years ago. Only played half the season and had 14 stolen bases. So you're looking at 3 guys that could go for 25 to 30 stolen bases. And Jarrett Curtis set the MLB combine record for the 30-yard dash. So the combination of speed and power is exciting. They just got to live up to it.
If you get on base.
Right.
You got to get on base.
Which Parker Blackman, as a true freshman, showed he can. Caleb Cotton at Sam Houston, the 1 year he started and was fully healthy, had a almost 400 on-base percentage. Jarrett Curtis in the SEC, the half season he was a starter for, I think it was 25, 30 games, had an on-base percentage at, I think, 330 in the SEC. So if those 3 guys can get on base, I think it could be exciting.
What if I said the biggest problem in college baseball are the umpires?
They're the problem everywhere in baseball.
Well, listen, but here's my reasoning for that. Or look, they're good at that level. Don't get me wrong. D1 umpires are not bad. You want to see bad ones, watch some of the Little League that's happening. It's not an easy job. But now we have the intelligence. We have the technology and the intelligence to develop the technology. And I'm not shocked that Major League Baseball has not instituted the automated ball strike system that they have at AAA that works fantastic. It was in the All-Star game.
Yep.
It was fantastic. And by the way, in the AAA games, if you watch any of those, I tend to watch a lot of minor league baseball. If you watch the AAA games when they do that, they show like when they're at the Express, the background is Globe Life.
Yeah.
It's the Major League Stadium. Just
get it in the majors already.
Yeah, they don't even use it there. Like, what are we doing? How long before that technology, though, reaches to college? And I think it's a little quicker than the MLB would do it.
Oh, I think the MLB might do it in a year or 2. I think college...
Oh, it's coming in next year for MLB, but
yeah,
they should have been this year.
I think college is probably 3 to 5 years. I think the biggest thing is these schools with lower budgets finding a way for them to implement it. Is it going to be on them to implement it at their school with TrackMan and Radar and all that stuff, or is the NCAA going to come in and make it happen? Because if it's on the schools, I'm worried not everyone's going to have the budget to get it done.
If you want to be a D1 baseball school, right?
Get it done, yeah.
Find a way.
Yeah.
I'm not D2, no, D3. I'm not, but D1. Listen, that if you're going to do it, this isn't something you just use at the College World Series or just use in playoffs. It's something you use year round so that you can develop and it helps umpires develop consistency too, right? Like if they go, oh crap, I missed that by a half inch. Well, okay, that's a half inch. That's not very big. But if you're Angel Hernandez and you're missing them by 8 inches off the plate against
Every
Ryan
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right, like maybe it would force them because that's embarrassing. Could you imagine Angel Hernandez being?
CB Buckner might be worse. I was watching him the other night. He is just
CB's
as bad.
always had that attitude as well. Angel's just a bit. As far as like strike zone consistency, I agree with you. CB Buckner is horrendous. When it comes to ego, he's a little bit below Angel, and that's not a lot. Angel's ego is through the roof, man.
Right. Yeah. Not great. I guess my final thought on baseball, I think I picked us 7th out of 10 last year, and we were picked 3rd in the preseason. 6th or 7th, I can't remember. I had us in the bottom half. Knew it would be a rough year, maybe not that rough. I think right now, and obviously there's still spots open pretty much anywhere, I would pick us 3rd or 4th. I think part of that is this team is a lot better than last year, and WKU, who was just so incredible, kind of out of nowhere, their entire team got gutted. So if I had to do it like a very early prediction, I would probably say top 4, leaning towards the bottom of the top 4, 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, it's a farm system sometimes these days.
Yeah. G5 is, yeah.
A lot of it is. Yeah, definitely. Hey, we may have gotten an inadvertent sneak peek at a basketball schedule. How accurate is that? And what does it look like? We have it. We're going to show it to you when we come back after this word from our friends at Eternal Roofing. Eternal Roofing only uses the finest materials in the roofing business while providing an exceptional warranty. Why do they use CertainTeed products? Because they complement any appearance, provide exceptional and reliable strength, and are known for their enduring performance. Here's what Shane Sosa had to say about Eternal Roofing. Taylor and his team are amongst the highest level of professionals. They care about their customers and go above and beyond just doing the job. Give Eternal Roofing a call today at area code 830-251-5673 or area code 936-215-8539 or email Taylor at eternalroofingtx.com. Well, we want to say thank you to our friends at Eternal Roofing. Also want to say thank you to the Sickos. I got a Sickos sticker. They were in San Antonio at the Southland Conference opening drive and Texas High School Coaches Association convention.
Love
Left
the
some
Sickos.
stickers. I grabbed every sticker they had. I couldn't get enough Sickos.
They're great. They're from what, Louisiana, I think?
I'm not 100%. They had one that says all football is good football, y'all.
That's true. And we got some football tomorrow night, the Hall of Fame game. If you're a true sicko, you'll be tuning in.
Oh, I will not.
Come on, Corey.
I cannot watch preseason NFL football, man. I cannot watch preseason NFL football.
Especially that's 1 week into training camp or OTAs, whatever.
Yeah, but hey, today's the last day without football until February? It won't
Yeah, last week.
At least it's the last week without one to February. Last day, we'll be having it almost every day here pretty soon. So
Yep.
It is around the corner, but that also means that basketball is around the corner. And there was a post put out, and hey, listen, our guy, he knows how to find it, and he did. And Ben took a little screenshot of it, and we've got it right here. Sam Houston men basketball, 25-26 non-conference schedule. It shows they've got Stephen F. Austin on. That's a neutral site game.
That's an exhibition, yep.
Exhibition game. Laterno, is that an exhibition? Because it is.
Technically, no.
Technically, no. Yeah, that's
because you get up to 4 non-D1 games. You got 3.
Oh, we'll go. Yeah. You beat up on Laterno, then you travel to Texas Tech to get beat up on.
Yeah.
Then you travel to Utah. That's one you said was put in there?
Yeah, well, we knew 3 power conference games. We knew Oklahoma State, we knew Texas Tech, we knew Oregon State. We did not know Utah, but Utah makes sense. You played there a couple of years ago. I'm surprised they let you back because we beat them. But yeah, Utah is in there.
They want revenge. And then Wyoming comes to Huntsville. I like that one.
It's a good get, and I've heard it's a
Yeah.
home and home for this year in 26, so that's a quality home and home you could get. Speaking of home and homes, you fulfill the back end of yours with Texas Southern. So you've got that. This year you're going on the road. So
Why is Sam Houston doing a home and home with Texas Southern? Please tell me that contract was signed a while ago.
why did we do one with Lamar last year that ended?
Oh, God. Yeah. Wow.
That's what you got to
see,
do to
that's
get people to come.
That's a D1 school that's still scheduling like a lower D1 school, right? Like you're still scheduling like your FCS when you do that.
It's a massive challenge for both men and women's basketball to get people to play in Huntsville because of the crowd size or lack thereof. It's not appealing.
No, whoa. Hold on. I like this. I like this. Let's go do right here. It's not appealing for opposing teams to come to Huntsville because they don't get enough people. The environment is horrendous. Am I correct on this?
It's not all of it, but it's definitely part of it.
I would think that's a big part of it, actually.
I know up until this last year, Sam Houston was a dominant home team. I think that played a part also, but it's hard to ignore that the attendance part was part of it too.
Get your butt to the games. Go support the team. Looking at the rest of the schedule here, they have Shriner at home after Wyoming. Okay. Beat up on another D3 team. Also a D3 team in the in Kerr County. That is a great opportunity. And if you're listening and Sam Houston does not pick up on this, is a great chance to make this a fundraiser for Kerr County and the flooding. You're missing out right here. This is your best opportunity. I believe it's November 22nd when they play Shriner at home.
Yeah, should be a good one. Under a new head coach too. I believe their new head coach is a former Sam alum also, Kyle McLeroy.
I think so. So yeah, that's a prime opportunity to do some good for some people that need it right now.
Yeah.
Then they go to Idaho State. That's an odd one. And then Idaho, is that just
no? It's
going to go to Idaho.
No, it's an MTE. So
okay.
It's Boise State, Sam Houston, Idaho State, and Idaho, and we're playing Idaho State and Idaho.
Is it in Boise?
It is.
Okay. Then a trip to Oklahoma State. That's going to be a tough one. It's going to be fun there. That's
third time in 5 years we've played there.
That's a fun arena.
Yeah, a little connection to Steve Lutz, who used to coach at WKU.
Mm-hmm.
He's now the head coach there, so not a surprise to see we go back to Oklahoma State.
Return trip to Texas Southern.
Yeah, close game last year.
Look, hey, that as a team, you don't discount that team.
100%. Making the tournament pretty frequently out of the SWAC.
Yeah. And look, SWAC basketball ain't the greatest, but to win that in Texas Southern schedule is always tough. So,
yeah,
very tough. That's when they make their money. Oregon State on the road. Is that like a football basketball duo type of scheduling thing?
I don't know. It's an interesting. I can't remember us playing Oregon State in basketball, but it is certainly fascinating. We play them in both sports. A lot of travel up to the Northwest region, Utah, Idaho State, like that MTE, and then you've got Oregon State also. So a lot of travel to the Pacific Northwest.
Are flights cheaper up there now with all the tsunami warnings coming in?
Maybe. You never know.
Never know. And then finish at home with the Little Sisters of the Poor, also known as the College of Biblical Studies.
Yeah. Fascinating game in non-conference play.
That is, you want to go to conference with a win over the College of Biblical Studies.
I hope so.
So now you've seen it. Now we've gone through it. Here's my question: is that the schedule? Is that the finalized schedule?
I would say no.
Okay.
The
That would explain why they pulled it.
The reason I think so, two things here. The first one, you play College of Biblical Studies December 20th. Your conference opener is at New Mexico State December 21st.
That wouldn't make sense.
Makes no sense. So that's number one. Number two, you've got some pretty big gaps in between here, like November 20, no, I'm looking at December 6th to December 17th. That's 11 days. That's part of it. I have heard that the team was open to scheduling 5 bye games. They've got 4 right now for revenue sharing purposes, which I'm sure a lot of schools are doing. So I am interested to see if the College of Biblical Studies game stays on, which it might. Maybe it moves to a different day. But I wouldn't be shocked to see that get removed for another bye game somewhere.
So how did this slip out?
I don't know.
Because that's a big. If that's not even like if the final schedule comes out and College of Biblical Studies is moved up 3 weeks earlier in another game, that's a big omission.
Yeah, I think the biggest red flag is you're not playing in Huntsville one day before you start the conference opener on the road in Las Cruces.
Especially during Christmas break, right? Why not?
I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you just kind of play the backups. Maybe it's like a split squad day, like they do in spring training. Yeah, you keep the bottom 7 in Huntsville. You send the top 8 to Las Cruces, and you go from there.
Would you need to play the starters against the biblical studies? I mean,
no.
Like, make a JV team. I would. I'm fine with you playing Laterno and Schreiner. I get it. We got to have the bye games, but that College of Biblical. I mean, come on now. What's that? NAI? Some really low NAI school?
Yeah, if that. But yeah, that's my guess as to what happens. Is that game's moved? It's replaced by something else. There's also a pretty sizable gap between Texas Tech and Utah, November 7th and November 15th.
Good time to put a good win in there to get some confidence, because those are 2 rough games back to back too.
They are. Is that where biblical studies gets put, or do you throw another
class,
or do you put another bye game in between? I mean, do you just stay on the road for a week? You go Lubbock, and then maybe you fly out to Arizona State, and then you go to Utah. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but there's definitely something up with the schedule.
So, how many of those teams will be on the final schedule?
So we're not including SFA because that's an exhibition. There's 11 games. I think 10 of the 11 will be there.
Do you think we just eliminate our biblical studies and not even study the Bible this year?
Who knows? We'll see. But there's going to be some sort of change between teams, dates, something, because it just does not add up.
Well, there you have it. We went through a schedule that's not going to be right. But we have some idea, because the Wyoming and Utah is new, and to see how many power teams they have and how many bye games, it is interesting to see right now.
It is. Yeah, we knew 3 of the bye games. We knew the MTE. We knew Texas Southern, but you now know who the 4th bye game is. There might be a 5th. Who knows? We'll see. I've heard of that. And then to get a home and home with Wyoming is huge. I mean, Wyoming's a good team. Mountain West is a good conference.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, I'm a fan of them. I like their colors. I like their logo. I like a lot of things about Wyoming, outside the way their people drive around here. It's really not good.
You got some. What do you call people from Wyoming?
Everyone on the road drove as well as I do. There would be no problem.
Are there people from Wyoming that are driving in Wichita Falls? The Cowboys? Is that what we're referring to?
There, a few years ago, you really want to get into this story here?
Oh, boy.
Oh, God. A few years ago, when my son was going to the Christian preschool, There was a woman in a Wyoming car with license plates from Wyoming that would pull up, and if she got ahead of you in that drop-off line, you're going to be there a long time. She had to go up and talk, and it's a line. You drop your kid off, you go. She didn't understand that. She would stay there and talk, and so it became it's Wyoming, right? Well, then I started getting cut in. There's other. I'm like, oh, look, Wyoming again. What the heck's wrong with Wyoming? Why can't they drive? It's just, I am one of those that if I see 2 or 3 from your state can't drive, the whole state is just done, and all you need to learn to drive like me.
What do you call people from Wyoming? A Wyomingite? Or a Wyomite?
Weird.
Wyomingian?
Wyomingian.
Yeah.
We won't get into Oklahoma because there's some topics going on there that could be fun. In Oklahoman, let's see, some of the New Jerseyan. I like doing that sometimes.
Texan is just so easy.
Yeah, I love the ones who call it Texian.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Better, right?
Yeah.
A Californian.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
Floridian, maybe that kind of sounds all right.
Floridian works. North Carolinian works, right? Like those do kind of work together. A Missourian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Illinoisan.
Yeah.
Wisconsinite. You got to go out on them. You can't go in, right? Speaking, what is going on with the Brewers, man? They're winning baseball games.
They are. Trade deadline almost exactly 24 hours away.
And the Rangers are coming back, dude.
And
the Astros are falling. That would look bad.
Still got to make up 5 games.
The Astros are playing their AAA team right now. That's all they've got left.
The cavalry is coming, hopefully.
Is it going to be any good, though?
That's the big... On the pitching side, I think that's a question. Hitters, I don't think you worry about as much. The pitching is definitely a question mark when guys come back from injury.
I saw today potential Carlos Correa back to the Astros.
Nah.
To play third base, Ben. Tell me how you feel about that.
Not a big... love Carlos Correa. I mean, love the guy, what he did, but I just don't think it really fits. You would have to commit to, I think, $30 million a year for whatever the prorated amount is this year and the next 2 years for a guy that looks to be starting to regress. He's only 30, but he's been in the league a decade. It's a lot of wear and tear on a body, so he's going into year 31 next year. I think you've got other guys that could... Isak Paredes is already at third, so no point in getting a guy for $30 million or so to play third temporarily, and then you have to eat that contract for 2 more years.
But the Padres took a risk on Machado to put him to third base and took some money out of that, and it kind of worked.
If the Twins eat money, I'm open to it. I just don't know if they're going to because the Twins are in a financial crisis, it feels like.
Well, the
with their
Twins aren't
ownership.
going to eat the money, but if the Astros get him and he turns into a solid third baseman, you might be able to get him for a lot cheaper than in a couple years. Third base just isn't as contractually valuable as a shortstop.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting.
I want the Rangers have got to get rid of John Peterson. I'm done. Done. Ezekiel Duran, no, stop it.
There's a lot of big names out here this deadline. I mean, Correa, Arenado, Cease, Stephen Kwan.
Is Arenado a big name anymore?
I think he holds some value a little bit. I don't know.
Man, I'm starting to realize we're getting old.
Yeah, I know.
And names like Nolan Arenado, they're not big. They're not the best in the game anymore.
Yes.
The game, these last 5-10 years have blown by us.
Yeah, I guess let's go for a more modern name, Eugenio Suarez. There's another third baseman that's a little more in his prime.
Yeah, I think baseball's in such a good position. So much young talent Mike Trout's not talked about as one of the best in baseball anymore. He's gone past that too, and I think he's in that group with the Nolan. His timing was with the Nolan Arenados and stuff. We're seeing the phase out of that generation, the phase in of the young guys. And you give me some Paul Skeens, Mizorowski out there at Milwaukee, young pitchers galore all over the place, man, and young hitters too. This is just a fun time to watch baseball.
It is, and we lost a year of the Trout Arenado era in 2020, and it looks like we're going to miss a year of those guys' eras in 2027, unfortunately.
Dude, it happens, man. Life moves on.
Yep.
Ryan Sandberg, for guys my age, Ryan Sandberg hit a lot of people hard.
Hit a lot of baseballs hard, too.
Ryan Sandberg, because we used to watch him. See, yeah, I know this is one of those age differences, but when I was growing up, and I was a teen, preteen, through my high school years, WGN showed the Cubs every afternoon for free. Like every one of their games were 120. And they were always on TV on WGN. And I watched the Cubs maybe more than the Rangers a lot of times.
Yep.
So, yeah, I grew fond of Ryan Sandberg and Andre Dawson and that kind of stuff. I was actually a little surprised to see that Ryan was only 65.
You're like, I'm getting old.
Yeah, I mean, you had Ozzy and then Hulk Hogan in back-to-back.
Back-to-back. R.I.P.
Well, or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like I ain't getting into how they were or who they were, but it's like, goodness gracious, man. All of my youth and a lot of us that we grew up kind of doing it, we're seeing them phase off. But did you hear Ozzy's last concert?
No, I saw a video. He was like sitting in a chair or something like that.
It's not good, man. He just like Steven Tyler. Like the dude has done it for so long and he did it so well. He doesn't have the voice anymore. He doesn't have the ability, and it's okay to stop. It just wasn't for him. And obviously, it wasn't for him, right? Like
Some people
once
can't
he
stop.
stopped, that was it.
Yeah, some people just can't stop.
Yeah, well, we can, because I'm about to have a dog putting her nose on my knee pretty darn hard if we don't get off here soon. She's 30 minutes past feed time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotta get to it.
That's right. Thank you to everyone who watched us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and to everyone who downloads the podcast. Anyone listening, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Ben, for coming on and putting up with my shenanigans here again at the end. We're going to be back next week, I'm guessing. Let's have a little production meeting here. Are we back next week? Is that one of our weeks back?
I'll be here.
All right, August 6th. So far, I show that I'm here. So unless something else happens, we're going to see you next week. And until then, Ben, take us out on something that's going to help us boost these cats with this hot, humid August fall training days.
Yeah, eat 'em up, cats. Drink your water, and leave in the comments where Rhino Herd's getting traded to.
Drink water!